Hi guys, welcome back to Anamika Reflects, and today I have my friend Alan, and we're gonna talk about the past week, the movement that happened, tributes for George Floyd, about racism, Black Lives Matter, everything that we want to talk about. So Alan, last week there was a lot that happened.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of stuff went down.
A lot of stuff. I'm sure you watched the video where George Floyd was brutally murdered, like 9 minutes.
Yeah, I saw the video and it's a very gruesome video actually. It is very... It hits me to the heart, because the guy, so I don't know if you know the story behind it, the guy was accused for fraud, basically fraud, for $20.
$20 like fake bill, right?
Yeah, a fake bill for $20,
Yes.
right? So a fake bill for $20, and they called 4 cops on him. You know what I mean? Four cops for $20. They called him, and the guy was compliant. As far as I know, as far as all the content I've seen, the guy was very compliant, and he was there and he was following instructions. He was told to go on the ground. He was on the ground, but they just forced himself onto him. I don't know. It's just it's crazy, And when they did that, the guy was like, "Okay, I'm doing what you're telling me. I'm just doing what you're telling me. Come on, all right, let's do. What's the next procedure?" But they were just on him, just like not letting go. People were shouting from the back. It was just like insane. It's crazy and it's like heartless. It just gets to me,
Me too. The first time I watched it, I was like, how can something like this even happen? I didn't even see any race. I just saw like when George Floyd, like when he completely stopped responding, I felt like humanity just died at that point. Because first of all, we don't know if he knew the bill was fake or not. Like they never investigated. Nothing happened. Even if it was fake, like who is that officer to decide what he's gonna face? There's law, there's court, there are judges, there's justice. But the worst part that I felt was how that officer was so unempathetic. Like he put his knee on his neck. It's not a big deal. I do this every day. And even when after the EMT came and George Floyd didn't respond at all, right? And people were shouting in the camera, "Hey, can you check his pulses? Can you check his pulses?" He was like, "I do this every time."
And that's the thing, they feel like they have the power. Like there's nothing that can be done to them, They feel like government has their back. Like nothing can be done to them because they've done it countless times. Like you said, he always does it every day. Like it's something they've done before, and that's what we are standing against.
When I looked at the history of the police officer, he had like 19 charges that were for police brutality, but nothing happened. So this was nothing new to him. He's done it countless times. This was the time he got caught on camera. What do you think about everything that happened? Like there was so much movement. You went to a protest yourself at Caldwell. Everybody was vouching for Black Lives Matter, Blackout Tuesday. How did you feel about that?
Alright, so I went to a protest 2 days ago. Before I went there, I talked to a couple of my friends. They were like, "It's not safe, don't go there." And I was really conflicted before I was going, but in my heart, I knew like, if I don't go to this, if I don't show my part for this, this is gonna keep on going on. I was scared of what might happen. We've seen a lot of crazy protests in New York, in Minneapolis, in Chicago. Everything is crazy. People are getting hurt. People are violent. But I was scared of what they might do to me at that point. But also, you know what I'm scared of more?
What are you scared of more?
If I don't go, what will happen? What will happen if I get to that situation? If I don't go, I might end up into that situation. It might be me next. It might be you next. It might be my friends. It might be my family.
Absolutely.
I don't know. So I have to do my part. I have to make sure that this cops, this people who are discriminating, who are racist, who are going against what's right, get punished. Like they get what they deserve. The fact that they did it, that's a huge thing. That's a whole different thing. But not getting punished for it, that's a completely different topic. Justice must be served. That's why even on my plank, I wrote "Make America Fair." If someone else, just a regular person, civilian, does that, they will get punished, right? But if a cop does it, they won't get punished because there's this thing called immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cops basically have immunity. Basically, what it means, if they break your rights, they cannot get punished for it. And that is basically wrong. In a way, they're above the law, if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
In a way, they're above the law. So that's what I'm standing against. That type of discrimination, that type of unjust punishment of not just people of color, all types of people versus the cops.
Very true. Cops are placed above the law because they are like, oh, I was just doing my job. That's where police brutality came. This term, it just didn't appear out of the sky. It's because cops were using their power to suppress brown people, black people, immigrants, undocumented immigrants, Mexicans, LGBTQ. There's so many people that have faced police brutality, and this was like one of the worst forms. Like, he didn't even value someone's life. Like, that's what hits me the most. He didn't even consider, oh, this is a human being. Oh, this might be someone's father. This might be a breadwinner for some family. Nothing. And I want to ask you, like, have you personally growing up, have you faced racism?
Personally, I haven't faced any racism because no, I'm not from this country. I'm from Kenya. My Kenyan people. Because everyone around me was black. But I did face discrimination. I did face discrimination because of my financial situation. Because of where I came from, my background, but tribalism. It's a different form. But yes, I did face racism, and it was not good. It did not feel good. There are comments that all lives matter. Like, people they're trying to start this movement that all lives matter. But yeah, all lives do matter. I'm not in disagreement with that. Otherwise, if we only say Black Lives Matter, only colored people matter, it's going to be a reverse type of racism. And we don't stand for that. We want everyone to be equal. But as of right now, the current situation right now is that black people, colored people, they're the ones being oppressed. They're the ones facing trouble, facing situation. We need to bring them up so that now we can say everyone is equal.
And I just want to add to that because a lot of people are not understanding. They're like, oh, hashtag Black Lives Matter and then hashtag All Lives Matter. But my question is, how can all lives matter when black lives don't matter? Like, that person who put a knee on the neck of a black person didn't agree like Black Lives Matter. Make Black Lives Matter. We are bringing this movement because right now black lives are here and all other lives are here. So to bring black lives to the same level, we are starting that movement, Black Lives Matter, so all lives could matter.
That's true. What about you? I'm curious. Those who don't know, she is colored. She might not look colored. She is colored. She is from Nepal. Have you experienced any type of racism, any type of discrimination?
I'm from Nepal, and in Nepal, I feel like I had a really good, comfortable life. So even like in Nepal, people are of different complexions. Everybody's not like at the same complexion. Some people have fairer complexion, some people have lighter complexion. For me, I feel like I wasn't discriminated. Like in Nepal, there's also a caste discrimination, and even that I didn't face. But when I came to America, I feel like people always had the assumption like I was Indian. I'm like, can you guys at least ask me? But you can feel a subtle discrimination sometimes. That I did face because I'm not white. I came from another country, so a lot of the opportunities were limited for me. I had someone tell me I couldn't even apply to an internship because I am not American, but I did it anyway. Yeah, I did it anyway. I got the internship, but I felt like, like some tables even sitting at the cafe, it's like so white. A brown girl cannot just go and sit on the table. I felt that way. Like maybe they didn't mean it, but when you see everybody's white men just sitting, I never felt like, oh, I could just go and sit there, So I also want to bring up a case that happened in Nepal. So there was a guy who named Nawaraj BK, and he was from a lower caste. Okay. There's like a caste system in Nepal, so there's like higher caste, lower caste. So he fell in love with a girl from higher caste. Okay.
Classic.
Yeah. And then like he wanted to marry her, but I think the family members, the society, what they did was they brutally murdered that guy and also 4 of his friends. And this was all because he was from a lower caste. So when I heard that news, I just felt like, do we even value human life? Because here, what we are talking about, racism, class difference, it's 2 different concepts, but it's kind of same because it's one or the other form of discrimination. Like race is a social construct. High class, low class, caste system, everything is a social construct.
That's true.
So I felt like these 2 things were so interrelated because people were being discriminated on a basis of what society created, not what they did, not a flaw in their character. So what do you think about other forms of discrimination?
I actually do consider any type of discrimination as wrong because what being in a society is signing a social contract. agreeing that, oh, we're gonna follow this rules. Everyone is gonna follow the contract. Everyone signs the contract and everyone follows the contract, and everyone's gonna be treated equally under the contract. So when people sign the contract, they agree to live by those rules, and there are people who are not following those rules. They're all under the same contract of society. They're treated wrong under the contract. So it's basically wrong for any type of discrimination under any way. They're all wrong. There are people who are looting out there. I am not in any way supporting violence or any way. But think about this. Those people who are looting are the people who are lowest in the society, right? They're people who are of color. Most of them, they're of color. There are also white people out there. But they are the people, you don't see any rich people going looting or anything. It's the people who are lowest in society. People who are not being treated equally under the social contract. So if they haven't been treated equally under the contract, should they follow the contract? Should they really follow the rules? If the rules are working against them throughout the time, should they really follow the rules? That's how they're thinking. I am saying that the social contract has to be looked at again, has to be reassessed.
I feel like you said about society being a social contract. I completely agree. And right now the social contract is such that few people are at advantage, right? We're talking about white privileges. People with a lot of money, they can get away with things. And there are people who are at disadvantage, like, black people, immigrants, LGBTQ. So we have to change that social construct. It shouldn't be giving pros to some, cons to some. It should put all of us at the same level.
Exactly. That is exactly why we're doing this. Even cops, people of color, everyone should be under the same contract, treated fairly under the same contract, so that everyone can be able to benefit, not just some people, and some people winning, some people losing. No, it should be a win-win situation.
We are young, we are the youth. You and we're like 21, 22. What can we as individuals do against racism or any kind of discrimination?
Personally, I feel like any opportunity we do have, we should try and stand up for people who are being discriminated against. If you're at an advantage, you should try and stand up. We live in a very safe and gated community. Like Caldwell in New Jersey is very safe. So us standing up for those who can't, people in Minneapolis, people who are in Chicago, us going outside and protesting, stand for those who can't, because maybe one day you'll be the person who can't. All right, how about you though? What do you think you're gonna do? How can you make a change in the societal contract?
So for me, I feel like we talked about equity, everybody being equal, right? I don't think we are gonna achieve that in my whole lifetime. Maybe we advance, we advance to a certain degree, but I feel like there's always more to do. But that's in society. In my head, I live in an equitable society. So in that society, I want everybody to be treated equal. So I'm always like, if anybody treats me differently on the basis of my sex, on the basis of my color, on the basis of my economic status, I'm gonna stand up. And I'm not just gonna stand up for me. Like if I'm sitting in a bus stop and somebody is being racist, I'm gonna stand up for that person. If I'm gonna be in social media, right, and I see somebody passing a really harsh comment on someone, I'm gonna stand up for that person. Like you said, every opportunity that I can voice my opinion, I will voice it. I will always stand up for myself, for everybody else in everyday life. That's my plan.
And sounds pretty solid. I mean, if everyone takes the same initiative as we are taking, just think about it. Me and you, the people we live with, we influence one or two people.
Exactly.
And then the other one or two people influence another one or two people. That's how we eventually get there. Like you said, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. But if everyone takes their initial step, everyone takes their own step towards that future where everyone is treated equally, towards the future where everyone is on the same level, we can get there. I genuinely do believe that.
Yeah, it's about creating a ripple effect, because we always say, oh, government, NGOs, the president should do this. But what about us? If we want a real change, I feel like it comes from a civilian basis, Every person thinking like, no, I'm gonna stand for what's right. And if I'm doing that, you're doing that, a lot of our friends are doing that. That's how things are gonna change. We can always blame the third party. But what are you doing, you know? What are you doing as an individual? If you are a CEO of a company, what are you doing to enforce like everybody gets treated equally? It starts from us. I want to ask you, Alan, you have a lot of Nepali friends, you know? Yeah. We are friends too. You live with like 4 Nepali guys.
That's true.
How has it been having Nepali friends? Have they treated you differently? Because, you know, like you guys are not from the same country.
I genuinely think that it's been really amazing. I've lived with people from Nepal basically since I came to the US. That's about 2 years. And it's been really amazing. No one has treated me differently. And that's the thing. You know, if everyone is just genuinely accepting and rather than look at a person based on how they look, but rather what's inside of them, what's inside their head, what's inside their heart, you generally see the person. You don't see how they look like. You see the true person. You don't see how they are. So that's how they've been treating me like that. They treat me like one of their own. I know a couple of Nepali words, not gonna say them because we have to censor it, but still. But yeah, I generally like it's a mingle of culture. Once you know the person from inside, you get to mix cultures. You get to learn new things. You get to learn new concepts. I've been meditating. We don't do this in my culture. I meditate. I turn vegan. We do vegan, just so you know. Yeah, but yeah. How about you though? How have you been? You've been in college for 4 years now?
Yeah.
4 years now. You've lived with a lot of different type of people, met a lot of different type of people. How's it been though?
I think it's been so wonderful, especially like Caldwell, like the diversity has taught me so much. And like this is my own personal experience. I have a lot of black friends. I love the food, especially like the Ghanaian food.
Awesome. Amazing.
I love the color of the dresses, especially like the African American people. They are so much like Nepali people, like so welcoming, you know. I can be like, hey, can you help me with this? Like there's that comfort, you know, like there's that sisterhood, brotherhood. I've had amazing supervisors who were black who have taught me so much about diversity, inclusion. I love the black culture, love the food, amazing people.
That's how you get to know. You can't experience that unless you're welcoming to them. You know what I mean? It's like a two-way street. You can't experience the joy of meeting, of learning new stuff, of intermingling with a new culture. You can't experience that unless you let people in, unless you treat them equally. That's how you get the experience.
We have biases. Oh, this person from this race. Oh, this person from this sexuality. You already have a preconceived notion, and then you kind of treat people differently. But once you're like, oh, I'm gonna know this person for who they are. Oh, I'm gonna try their food. Let me go to their festivals. That's where you see the real individual. That's how you make friends. That's where the magic happens.
Exactly. Where the magic happens. I like that.
Thank you so much, Alan. Thank you for talking to me.
All right, anytime. And also, very soon, my platform is going to be opening up. I know it might be uptight and everything over here, but I am a comedian, and very soon I will be making you laugh.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to drop his link down. Please do follow Alan. He's going to start his own comedy channel, and he is really funny.
If you say so.